Next fight on the card, we got Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens versus Mason Jones. So one call out for this fight, both these guys were let go or left the UFC, and they're coming back, right? It was not just Jeremy Stevens, who's had a fucking tear in other organizations, not in PFL really, but BKFC. But Mason Jones, he's had a tear just like on regional scene, I think it is for him. Just, getting some wins and more experience. But looking at Jeremy Stevens, age 38, so he's getting up there in age, and he's actually about to turn 39. So he's really going to have close to a 10-year advantage, 10 years on Mason Jones, which is not good for him. Also a bit smaller than Mason Jones, and also at this weight class, 155, I think they're fighting at. I don't know that Jeremy Stevens had a lot of success at 155. He finishes previous stint in the UFC at 155, and he lost to, Mateusz Gamrot and a couple others. And then he lost to Mateusz Gamrot, then he went to PFL and was fighting 155 there, and he lost a few times there. So that's a bit worrying to me, but Jeremy Stevens has been on a fucking tear. And if you've watched any of this guy's interviews recently, he's got a fucking fire in him. He's also fighting in his hometown in Iowa. So a couple other notes I got. Hardest hitting 145er right here. He's looked so great in the BKFC. He's taken out some legends over there and just shown that he's that dog. And so I think for him, having, this is his MMA record, by the way, these wins and losses that I'm showing. A loss, win, loss. So, I think the thing that he struggled with in his career, especially at the tail end of MMA career, is grapplers. I don't know that he's going to have to worry that much about that with Mason Jones. A lot of Mason Jones' wins are coming from KO. I think he's going to be a guy who's going to stay on the feet. Now, Mason Jones, on the other hand, he's kind of on a tear from an MMA perspective, 11-2, coming off of a loss. I think that he's coming off of a loss in the UFC, so that's what this is based on. But if you look at his recent record, he's actually coming off of a 3-fight win streak with one loss before that, which I think was his last fight in the UFC. He has a bit of a size advantage here. He's also 9 years younger. So Jeremy Stevens is a Gemini like myself, represent. Little Heathen turns 39 at the end of May. And Mason Jones, I think, turns 30, I think it's in July. So it's like a 9-year age difference between these guys. Mason Jones is going to be the younger fighter. I don't know. I'm going Jeremy Stevens, guys. I think being in his hometown, he's got a fire lit under his ass. He's going to go out there with some fucking demons, and we're going to see what happens.